hands together for Heather Marulli.
Okay, yeah. Yep. Here it is. My body. This is it. I'm keeping this thing because my mind is stuck inside of it. I have no choice. No, I accept my body now. I love it. I think I look great, you know. Okay, calm down. But, you know, it's interesting about body acceptance. Like, the people who are most critical of my body were the people who helped create it. My mom and dad, they were not a fan of this for many years, and they let me know. My mom used to tell me I look like somebody who could be a model if they just tighten it up. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, bitch. No, she's a lovely woman. My father, you know, he also was a little critical of me. I remember when our relationship like turned for the worse. I was sitting down at the computer typing my homework, and he comes up to me and he pokes me in the tummy and he goes, "You gotta lose that." I was like, "Oh shit, Dad, you're gonna have such a cheap funeral." No food. We're just gonna skip to the part where you throw you in the ground. We're not even gonna have a shovel. I'm just gonna do one of these. That's it. I'll do the honors. It's fine. People talk about having body dysmorphia, thinking your body looks different from what it actually does. I think I just have face dysmorphia because I'm kind of a grumpy girl, and every time I look in the mirror and I'm not Walter Matthau, I'm like totally confused. Like, I'm a young girl. What's happening? This is crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes I like fantasize about just being a disembodied head. Just like a floating head. I think it could be possible in the future. Could be possible. I could just float into a room and people are like, "Oh wow, she seems really smart." That's all I've ever cared about. I have a great life. My ex recently texted me a screenshot of his credit score, just to remind me that he's garbage. Just a terrible person. I should have known that already, though, because his name isn't even a real name. His name is a verb. I'll give you a hint. It's sway. The thing you do with your body, that thing. When we first met, he was like, "Yo, girl, my name's Sway." And I was like, "Oh, this is a huge red flag. Let's date for 2 years." So we did. Yeah, but he sent this little picture of his credit score, and he sent a little message along with it. He's Latino, so he was like, "Numbers don't lie, mija." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Interesting from somebody who lies about numbers, because when we first started, he lied about his age. He said he was 28. He turned out to be 35 years old, which is fine. You can be 35 and be inside me, but can we have some transparency here? I just want to know what I'm dealing with. But I got suspicious that he was older because he was one of those people who saved all of his old concert tickets. And I remember laying in his bed when I look up and there's this like bulletin board of tickets, and one of them is a stub to Radiohead at the Hollywood Bowl in 2001. And I was like, okay, you went out alone at 13 to see Radiohead. This doesn't make sense. I didn't even appreciate the sadness of that band until I was like at least 20. Nothing's adding up. So I asked him, I was like, how old are you, really? And he said, "How old do you think I am from the way that I sex you up?" And I said, "Anywhere between 55 and 75 years old." Nobody says sex you up. I'm getting older. I have a birthday next week. Don't clap. You weren't even going to. It's fine. We're all getting older. It's okay. I know I'm getting older because one of the things I fantasize about now is toast. Just going home after work and having a nice piece of toast. Like, that really gets me going. I'm really into preserves these days. Like, just perusing the preserves. Like, thinking about which one can I try next? That really does it for me. I'm also the person at work who complains about sounds. That's me. I'm your girl. Shh. Shh. I had to send out an email recently with the subject line "sounds," and the body just said there's too many of them. And it's true. I mean, there's a guy sitting directly behind me named Curtis. That's his real name. I don't give a fuck. I'm not changing it. And he's constantly like gurgling and coughing and clearing his throat. He could be dying, but let's just get it over with. But yeah, he's constantly making these sounds. I'm like, oh, could you just, I can't hear my podcasts over these sounds. Okay, I feel confident. Bye.